angels and the other ones.
They don't got gang injunctions like that.
Not at all.
The biker gangs, the goddamn skinheads, they don't have gang injunctions. I saw the damn skinhead graffiti coming off the damn freeway right here the other day. Can we get a gang injunction with the San Diego skinhead? You automatically, if you're in a gang, number one, if they see you, they're suspecting you a gang member off top. So if they can document you even better. Now I don't want to see you at night, or if I see you on this other side of town, it's a problem. So you know, when they see you on the other side of town, it's a problem. You see what I'm saying? But this damn devil crept up out of the caves, stole you from West Africa for the Latino and Native American brothers, stole your land from you, and then look at you some type of damn way when you in his neighborhood. Now you can't be in a lawyer, now you're a nigga, right? That's something. Now go ahead, Job 30.
Job 30, verse 1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision.
They that are younger than I have me in derision, right? Because the so-called white man is basically the infant of the planet Earth, right? Because of course the original man had to be a black man, because two white people can't, it's impossible, right? Read.
Whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock.
To set with the dog of my flock. That's how Job is observing the so-called white man. Somebody who he would have put with the dog, because he was a dog himself. Right?
That's right. Verse 2. Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished.
Go ahead.
For want and famine they were solitary, flying into the wilderness in former time desolate and waste.
Exactly, flying into the wilderness in former time desolate and waste, because the original place that the so-called white man is from, which is a little known fact, is the Middle East. He's from the Middle East. But he fled into the wildernesses of Europe, into the Caucasus foothills of Georgia, Russia. Right? Go ahead.
Who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat.
Now, a lot of people at first didn't even know what that was talking about. What that's dealing with is the fact that when the so-called white man started wandering out of the cave, he didn't really want to hunt it first, okay? He didn't want to venture too far out of the cave. So what he was doing was eating the shrubbery and the trees that was around him. Right, Reed?
Mushrooms and shit.
Yeah, well, stuff like that.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Verse 5, they were driven forth from among men.
They were driven forth from among men, because the majority of people was living in that Middle East, East Africa, getting in India, in that region. Not all the way up in the Caucasus, because there was nothing up there. That's why the scriptures refer to it as a bottomless pit. That's what it is. It's something that has very few resources, right? That's why the so-called white man was sitting there in Europe, and when he wanted to build his global kingdom, he had to leave Europe to start doing that, because Europe ain't where it's at.
Verse 5, they were driven forth from among men.
That's right.
They cried after them as after a thief.
They cried after them as after a thief, because the so-called white man is the biggest thief on planet Earth. But there's a prototype thief that they were fashioned after, okay? He got a model, right? Because as we know, as we read, there's nothing new under the sun. So the things that were happening before the flood occurred are the same things that happened after the flood. It's all the same thing. The Most High got the same movie playing on repeat, man, okay? He liked it, all right? Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 4, verse 10. And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cried unto me from the ground.
So this is the Most High talking to Cain, right, Reed?
Verse 11. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which has opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand.
Okay, Reed.
When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond thou shalt be in the earth.
A fugitive and a vagabond thou shalt be in the earth. So if somebody's a thief and people are chasing him, he's what would be considered a fugitive. This dude was the Levant's most wanted, the so-called white man. He was the most wanted man in the Middle East. People was chasing his ass out of the damn Middle East, okay? And they chased a lot of them up into them foothills, right? Them caves up in them foothills, right? Go ahead. But just like Cain, because he's coming, the so-called white man has the same exact spirit that Cain had. Because Cain, which is a little known fact also, was the first white man of all time. Because Cain, as we're going to read, was cursed with leprosy, which made his skin white, right? Now, watch his reaction, read.
Verse 13, and Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear.
So Cain said, man, I can't even deal with that, right, Reed?
Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth.
That's right.
And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me.
Everyone that findeth me shall slay me. Now why? Now let me ask you something. If you go to a town 2 states over where they never heard of you, why would they have any motive to kill you? Why would they want to kill you? They don't know. You ain't done nothing to them, right? there was something that happened to Cain that made it obvious that something was wrong with him, right? And it was the fact that he got that curse to let him know he was the first murderer, right? He got that curse of leprosy.
Verse 14. Verse 15. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold.
Exactly. So the Lord said, look, he wanted Cain to live his whole life with that sin on him. You understand what I'm saying? He wanted to live his whole life with that sin on him. As in, usually the typical thing that happens is somebody's a murderer, they get their punishment, they get put to death for that. That's how they used to do it in the old days. God said, look, Cain, no, I'm going to give you this mark on you, and you're going to have to live your whole life with that. You see what I'm saying? You're going to have to live your whole life sticking out like a sore thumb. Like, the scarlet letter, you heard the scar, they walk around with the A on them. It's kind of that same type of concept. I'm not going to judge you, give you the judgment for this. I'm going to make you have to walk around and everybody can tell that you did something horribly wrong. You see what I'm saying? Which is almost a worse punishment than getting your automatic judgment for it, because it's over with. This time, no, you're going to have to live a long life, just like they say only the good die young, the bad live to be old. You're going to have to live an old, wretched, miserable life, and everybody that see you is going to know immediately, yeah, you messed up. You see what I'm saying? And that's the type of punishment the Lord gave to Cain, right? Where you at? 16?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
It says, and the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him.
That's that mark, right? He took, because look, we know, let's say Adam and Eve was original people, right? Two white people cannot make a black person. That is impossible, right? But two black people sure as hell can have an albino. I had a picture, right? I had a picture, right? And I'll pull it up if necessary, of these two twins. Twins. They face structure identical. One white, one black, right?
With white hair.
With
other one had
with white hair, the other one had hair like a black man, right? Straight up, twin brothers, right? Twin brothers. So we know these things are possible. As black people can create people that look like anything. It's possible. You can have a mutation, but two white people cannot create a black person. So we know scientifically that black people are original. So we know that if a mark was placed on Cain in his skin to make him stand out, it would have had to be to make him white. Right? Because in the law, like he was referencing in Leviticus 13, it tells you when somebody is a leper, which means they have the white spots popping up in their skin, you have to put them out. You have to exile them basically until it subsides. Right? That's leprosy.
Job chapter 30, verse 6.
Yeah, stop at 8.
To dwell in the clefts of the valleys and in the caves of the earth.
Actually, don't stop at 8. Stop at 10, brother. Go ahead.
And in the rocks.
To dwell in the caves, right, Reed?
It says, among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together.
Right now, what's that damn show you were saying? The damn caveman show?
Caveman show,
the
which
little
one?
caveman cartoon. You said what, bro?
Oh, the crooks.
The Crudes.
The Crudes, right?
Yeah.
These damn white people was going around like you see, just grunting, not having a form of language, but all that crap, right? In the coming out of the cave. They're the cave people, right? They was very uncivilized. Go ahead.
Dave the Barbarian.
Yeah, all that,
Quest for Fire.
Encino Man.
Encino Man, Quest for Fire, and
yeah,
the Cave.
Yeah, Quest for Fire is special.
Quest for Fire.
But go ahead.
Verse 8, they were children of fools, yea, children of base men.
Children of the lower level people on the earth, right? But watch this, hold that, go to Daniel 4:17, right? Remember it said they were children of fools, children of base men, with base means low. That's why the basement is the lowest part of your house, right? Base means low, right? Yeah, go ahead.
It says Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men.
Exactly, right, Ray?
And giveth it to whomsoever he will.
So God gives the kingdom to whoever he wants to give it to. Whoever's ruling because God chose him to rule, right, Ray?
And setteth up over it the basis of men.
So the Lord said he sets up over the world the basis of men. Now, who is currently ruling the world? The damn white race. So we know that they're the basis of men. And as we're seeing here in the scriptures, they're described as cave people in the lowest forms of life on the earth as far as humans go, right? They really subhuman. Go ahead.
Job 30 and 8, they were viler than the earth.
They were viler than the earth. When they were living up in them damn caves, they were viler than, they still viler than the earth now, but they were really viler than the earth in that time. They definitely wasn't bathing. They was eating all forms of madness. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead. So you got a question, bro?
No.
And now I am their song, yea, I am their byword.
Now I am their song, I am their byword. Now these white people, when you take a look at their origins, it's laughable. But now we are their song and their Bible. Now the blacks and Hispanics are who they laugh at and make jokes about. Yet they got everything from us. They was nothing without us. When you read about the age of enlightenment in Europe is when black people started going to Europe and teaching them things. These people, you ever heard of the bubonic plague, the Black Death? Killed 2/3 of the population of Europe. That came from white people that didn't bathe. These people couldn't even wash their ass, but they got the nerve to come over here, steal us, steal the land from the Latino brothers, right? And then laugh at us. That's a goddamn, that's an atrocity on the planet Earth. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 10. They abhor me, they flee far from me.
They abhor, they hate us, right? They flee far from us. Hence why we were just talking about, if you on a back block in their neighborhood where they got $1 million homes, they gonna ask you, what the hell is you doing over here, right? They want to flee far from us. They want niggas and sticks as far away from us as they possibly can, right? Go ahead.
And spare not to spit in my face.
That's right. And they spare not to spit in our face. Now, they might not walk up to you and literally spit in your face, even though some of them is bold enough to do that. But they will spit in your face in other ways. You know what I'm saying? In a figurative way. You know what I'm saying? Disrespect you, say things to you. Put you on a lower level. Make assumptions about you. You see what I'm saying? That's all. Yeah, exactly.
Whatever spit in your face is to degrade someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Or to disrespect them.
Just with the look. Just when they lock their damn car door when you walk by. How many damn times did that happen? You walk by a damn white boy with the car on.
Remember that happened when we walked past the Asian lady.
That happened. I'm talking about that happened so regular. That's just not. You really think that I'm just gonna be compelled to just rob you right now? You see what I'm saying? Why? You see what I'm saying? But even if I did, could you blame me? I mean, goddamn, look what you done did. You done stole our forefathers, stole the land from the Hispanic and Native American brothers, right? And then you got us in this messed up state. What the hell I'm supposed to do but rob your ass? Then you rob me? You see what I'm saying? So can you really blame me? That's the crazy thing about it, bro. That's the crazy thing about it. But see, people don't want to realize, like, it's really a simple concept. It's really all you have to do is observe what's going on, and you can come to the same conclusion if you're not being, if you're not electing to be blind. You only really blind if you elect to be. It ain't hard to see what's going on, right? You take a deep breath, you're gonna smell the coffee, right?
Obadiah verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee.
Right. So for everything that they did to us, shame shall cover them. We are their brother Jacob, Israel, right, Reed?
And thou shalt be cut off forever.
That's right. Thou shalt be cut off forever. That's what's going to happen. That is the utter judgment of the so-called white man.
That's right.
Job 30 and 11. Because he hath loosed.
Stop at 12. Go ahead.
Because he hath loosed my cord and afflicted me, they have also let loose the brittle before me. Upon my right hand rise the youth. They push away my feet, and they arise up against me the ways of their destruction.
That's right. Even so, every generation and generation of these so-called white people got the same agenda and the same outlook. To destroy, to oppress, and to continue to rape, robbery, and murder and spoil their planet.
Psalm chapter 109, verse 10. Let his children be continually vagabonds and beg.
That's right. Let his children be continually vagabonds and beg. So just like his forefather Cain was a vagabond, the children of the so-called white man is going to be a continued vagabond and beg.
That's right. Because
in the kingdom of heaven, these kids is going to grow up fatherless because we're going to be killing their dads, right? So they're going to be growing up fatherless and they're going to be begging, right? Go ahead.
Let them seek their bread also out of their desolate places.
They're going to be going, trying to seek their bread, scavenging and salvaging what they can to eat, just like they were doing in the caves. But just like they had us when we was on them damn plantations, they were just throwing us the muck, the scrap, and we had to figure it out and put it together. But they're not as ingenuitive as us, right? So they ain't gonna be able to put it together like that.
Job 30 and 13. They mar my path, they set forward my calamity.
They mar my path, they set forward my calamity, meaning they systematically set us up for failure. Right. Just like we was talking about with the damn gang injunction. So now I can't be outside after dark, but I got to get a job. My job wants me to work after dark. I'm coming home. I'm getting arrested. Right. They systematically set us up for failure. That's what it means by I say they mar our path. Go ahead.
And remember what I was telling you before. What's the reason I'm on probation? Because I was convicted for a crime that they couldn't give me the full 10 years for. So I'm going to put you on probation so that you can violate. Then I'm able to give you the 10 years.
Yeah, to give you more time.
Right. They mar my path, they set forth my calamity, they have no helper. Right, they came upon me as a wild as a wild breaking in of waters. In a desolation they
Like a
ruled
flood.
themselves upon me.
They flood. If you just sitting in a room and a damn swimming pool just falls on you of water, what's going to happen, man? You're going to be overtaken. You can't fight against that. And that's how they coming against us. Like the flood, right? That's what it talk about in Revelation, the flood. You know? But the earth, it says the earth helped the woman during that flood. So the Most High sets up ways and mechanisms that we can be helped out, but they're going to do everything that they can to keep us down, right?
What's up?
What?
Verse 15. Terrors are turned upon me. They pursue my soul as the wind.
Yeah, terrors are turned upon. They pursue my soul as the wind. Meaning they are hell bent and driven on locking us up, on killing us, on bringing us down. Let's say you owe some money. They pursuing you like the wind. They taking that out of that damn check, right? That child support, whatever. They taking that out of that check. The court fine. You go do your taxes. You think you're gonna get 3 racks back on your taxes? Oh look, we took all that. You know what I'm saying? They pursuing you like the damn wind. Go ahead, huh?
And my welfare passed away as a cloud.
My welfare passed, meaning not my welfare check. Okay, that's not what passed away as a cloud. Your well-being passed away as a cloud. Meaning you're not good. You're going through hell. The good times are over, right? Go ahead.
And now my soul is poured out upon me. The days of affliction have taken hold upon me.
The days of affliction, man. The days of our captivity have taken hold upon us. It's fucking us up, right, Red?
My bones are pierced in me in the night season, and my sinews take no rest. It says, by the great force of my disease is my garment changed.
Right, disease. What does the word disease mean? Disease, meaning you are not at ease. You are not at rest.
It says it binded me about as the collar of my coat. Verse 19.
It binded me about. It means the affliction is like the collar of your coat. It's all upon you, man. You know.
Verse 19. He hath cast me into the mire, and I am become like dust and ashes.
He brought us low. He put us in the dust and ashes, into confusion. He brought us low in the figurative sense.
Psalm chapter 109, verse 6. Set thou a wicked man over him,
That's right.
and let Satan stand at his right hand.
Let Satan stand on his right hand, meaning what? Satan is his power. The white man get his power from Satan. Read.
Verse 7. When he shall be judged, let him be condemned.
Yeah, when he get judged, let him be condemned. So when judgment day comes, people always talk about judgment day. What is judgment day about? Mostly this white man's judgment, right? So he can get his condemnation.
It says, and let his prayer become sin. Let his days be few, and let another take his office.
And let another take his office. Let his days be few.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath.
So the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, right? Go ahead.
Because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
So the devil in the so-called white man is having so much wrath because he knows his time is short. Meaning he's only got a lot of time to reign, right? Now go back to Psalms 109.
Psalms chapter 109, verse 8. Let his days be few, and let another take his office.
Let his days be few. His time is short. Let another take his office. Meaning we gonna have the kingdom. Hold that. Yeah,
Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
So let his days be few, meaning he only gets to reign for a short amount of time, and then we immediately take over. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's about. Go back to Psalm 109.
Psalms 109, verse 9. That his children be fatherless, and his wife a widow.
That his children be fatherless, and his wife a widow. Because a lot of times, even before the kingdom is implemented, you're going to have a time period of martial law out here where it's getting hectic. A lot of these crackers are going to have the man of the house is going to get killed, and these women is going to be out here crying because they don't know what to do, and the kids is going to be starving, hungry. That's what it means when they say let the child be fatherless and his wife a widow. Go ahead.
Verse 10. Let his children be continually vagabonds and beg.
Stop at 12. Go ahead.
Let them seek their bread also out of their desolate places.
Their bread also out of their desolate places. Again, it's the same thing being reiterated from Job 30. Seeking their bread out of their desolate places. Because they're not going to have a man of the house to go out there and hunt and bring them the food. Read.
Let their extortioner catch all that he had,
That's
and
right.
let the stranger spoil his
Let
labor.
the strangers, let these people from the outside come and rob their ass.
Verse 12. Let there be none to extend mercy unto him, neither let there be any to favor his fatherless children.
Meaning no mercy on this white man or his kids, man.
James chapter 2 verse 13. For he shall have judgment without mercy, that have showed no mercy,
Exactly. Go ahead.
and mercy rejoiceth against judgment.
Exactly. So the so-called white man is showing no mercy. He was raping, robbing, and murdering us. There was no mercy being shown. So we ain't gonna show him no mercy.
Psalms 109:13. Let his posterity be cut off.
Let his posterity be cut off. So let all this flourishing and increasing that he's doing be cut off, right, Reed?
And in the generation following, let their name be blotted
Let
out.
his name be brought it out. This is prophesying the extermination of the so-called white race.
Obadiah chapter 1 verse 9.
He's a coon, all right. Go ahead.
And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
So there we go again. It's dealing with extermination of a group of people. There's only one race of people that the Bible guarantees extermination of. Skip to verse 18.
Verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble.
So the black and Hispanic man is going to be like a fire and a flame devouring this goddamn devil. Read.
And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of
And there
Esau.
shall be none remaining. So
For the
they-
Lord hath spoken it.
So they're going to be exterminated. The extermination of the so-called white man. Coming soon.
That's
right.
right. Psalms chapter 37 verse 28. For the Lord loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints.
So the Lord loveth judgment and forsaken not his saints. His saints are the Israelites. Read.
They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off.
So we are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked, meaning the seed of the so-called white man, shall be cut off. Again, the extermination of the white man. Now it tells us in Malachi 1 that the so-called white man, the nation of Edom, is the border of wickedness. So when it says the wicked, that's who it's referring to.
Job chapter 18 verse 16. His root shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branches be cut off. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street.
That's right. He shall have no name in the street. His remembrance is going to perish. Again, this is more prophecy of the extermination of the white race. Read.
He shall be driven forth. It's like he shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world.
Light of the darkness. Right now, the so-called white man is enlightened. That's why he has something called the Illuminati. What does the Illuminati mean? The enlightened ones. They're in light, right? The Lord said He's going to bring them in darkness from their light and exterminate their ass. Read.
He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people.
That's what he said. This is talking about extermination. See, you ain't going to have no kids. Your brother ain't going to have no kids. Right? Go ahead.
Nor any remaining in his dwellings.
Nor any remaining in his dwelling. All these damn white people going to be gone. That was
That's right.
The Bible is clear. The Caucasian race is set for extermination. Thus says the Holy Bible.
That's right.
And also biology teaches you that as well. Science itself teaches you that the Caucasian race cannot endure. Okay? You are genetically inferior in every way imaginable. You don't stand a chance.
That's right.
See, look, brothers is mad. That's
That's right.
He's not even over here with this.
The Lord is raising that spirit up. He said, "Oh, I wanted some goddamn hot water." This brother can't even get no hot water. He is mad, and rightfully so. When the wicked are in power, the world is mourning.
Isaiah chapter 14 verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers.
So prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. I know people always say, "Well, no, that was our forefathers. I didn't do that." Well, guess what? The Bible says, look, your forefathers put us into slavery, rape, robbed, killed us, stole our land, all of that. So guess what? You got to suffer for it because you've been reaping the benefits of it. So it's only right that you suffer. Like we were telling that cracker last week, look, whether you claim that you're a white supremacist or not, you profit from the system of white supremacy that's set up in the earth. Therefore, you gotta fall victim as a result of the people that set it up because you profit from it, and you don't do nothing to try to stop it, right? But go ahead.
Smock, if I can say something, that make it seem like if we wasn't punished for all of our shit, not everybody was just going off back in them times, but we was all punished as a whole.
Ezekiel went into slavery. Ezekiel, when you wrote the book of Ezekiel, it starts off telling you that Ezekiel was a slave. Ezekiel was in captivity. But Ezekiel was righteous. So why was Ezekiel in slavery if he was a righteous man?
Guess what? The Lord forgave us, but we still have to receive judgment for it.
That's right. We gotta receive judgment. The Lord, like he said, he loved judgment. He judged us, so y'all gotta get judged. And he jacked us up a lot. And he said he ain't gonna do us worse than he do anybody. So if he did all that to us, man, the rest of y'all, man, y'all ain't for a rude awakening. Okay? A rude awakening. Go ahead.
That they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
How you ain't gonna possess land or fill the face of the world with cities if you're alive? You're not gonna be alive. That's what that means. Go ahead.
For I will raise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and the remnant, the son and nephew,
That's
saith
right.
the Lord.
The son and nephew, meaning extermination to that white race. The white race is the leaders and the rulers of the new Babylon. Why? Because they gotta steal something from everybody else because they're unoriginal. They don't have nothing. They aren't the originators of anything.
Right.
So they got to take other wickedness from other groups of people and use it for themselves. So they took the whole identity and the mystery system and the ideology and philosophy of ancient Babylon and implemented it into their kingdom.
Hey, the mother of all harlots.
That's right. That's why it's the mother of all harlots.
That's Deuteronomy, chapter 25, verse 19. Therefore shall be when the Lord thy power hath given thee rest from all thine enemies round about, in the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee.
So when the Lord finally gives us our rest, right, Reed?
For an inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven.
So it's so we talked about earlier keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High God, right? Now it's a law here in Deuteronomy 25 and 19 that there's a group of people that are to be exterminated in their remembrance and they are to be blotted out, which are the Amalekites, which are the chiefs of the Edomites, right? So it's in the law that we must exterminate this group of people, okay? And it's going to be a beautiful day when we exterminate you damn devil.
That's right.
Wait, I can't wait. I'm marking the damn days off on the calendar until I can exterminate some of
Thou shalt not forget it.
Thou shalt not. So the Lord said, you shall not forget that you got to exterminate these goddamn devils. Whatever you do, don't forget it. That's in the law.
Oof.
That's Torah law.
Torah law. Torah law.
You got to get rid of these devils, right?
Psalms chapter 109, verse 15. Let them be before the Lord continually, that they may be cut off the memory of them from the earth.
That's right. That they be continually judged.
Oh, okay.
Good, good, man.
Y'all had some questions last time, right? Well, we didn't even get to cover everything.
I came back.
So if y'all remember any questions y'all had?
So, I think we cut off somewhere along the lines of you were describing how it's going to work the transition from this world to the next.
Okay, yeah, we can. I mean, yeah, okay, we can deal with that.
I know this is all a lot of study.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Of course, this world gonna have to end with water, right?
Yeah.
The last world ended in what? Water, right?
Yes.
So this one's gonna end in fire. This right? This second death, right? Now, matter of fact, give me the Valley of Jehoshaphat. Matter of fact, y'all know that about the Armageddon and all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Seas of blood.
a little bit, you know.
A little bit, yeah.
Reinforcements are supposed to come, and the seals will be broken. And
Now, are you familiar with Ezekiel 38 chapter of Gog and Magog?
can you read it to me? No, I'm not.
Matter of fact, we all go get Ezekiel 38 first. Because this is something you gotta understand, right? With Ezekiel the 38th chapter. He's mad.
He's hot.
He's been out here all day.
Trying to get some hot water.
You done pissed off the wrong fucking Marine. Go ahead.
Talking to you guys?
Well, nah, he's just mad.
They didn't give him no hot water.
Okay, he said he ain't got no hot water. He's mad. But you got Ezekiel 38?
Yeah.
Read Ezekiel 38 real quick, right? Because this is gonna set the stage for the final conflict, right? Go ahead.
Ezekiel 38, verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog.
So the land, it's telling you the land of Magog. So it's not necessarily talking about the actual descendants of Gog and Magog, but it's telling you the people who actually are dwelling in their land, right? Now Gog and Magog, if you look at an ancient biblical map, that's dealing with Russia. That's dealing with that area over there. And what would be like the greater Soviet Union, right? Belarus, that area, right? That's Gog and Magog region.
The chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him.
Right? Prophesy against it, right? Read.
And say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee. O
So
God,
God is saying I'm against you, right? Read.
O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal.
Go ahead.
I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy
So
cause.
God said he's going to put hooks into the jaws of Gog and Magog, right? Does that literally mean he gonna come and put hooks in their jaw? No. It means if you put a hook in somebody's jaw and drag them by a chain, you're gonna get them to go to the place where you want them to go. You understand what I'm saying? Regardless of what they want to do, they're gonna do what you want to do, right? Go ahead.
And I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen.
Forcing them into war, right? That's what it is. It's talking about forcing the Russians into war, right? Go ahead.
All of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields.
Meaning they're ready to fight, right? Go ahead.
All of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, Libya with them.
Now Persia, what is Persia?
Persia would be
Iran, right? Now who's in bed with each other now? Russia and Iran, right? Now I'm going to tell you something. People want to deny the Bible. This was written 1,000 years ago. You mean to tell me that they knew 1,000 years ago that Russia and Iran was going to have some major alliance that was going to try to come against the Western powers? How the hell are you? Man, you can't make this shit up, right?
I'm sorry for coming in. I agree.
Go ahead.
When did it say that they were going to go against the Western powers?
It's going to get into it because what it's going to talk about is it's going to talk about mystery Babylon, right? You got three Babylons. You got the Babylon of Nimrod in Genesis. You got the Babylon of Nebuchadnezzar, and then you got this place called the mystery Babylon, right? Which we're going to have to basically that biblical prophecy is going to give you a description of what mystery Babylon would be comprised of, and then you would have to make a decision on what would be mystery Babylon. Okay, we came to the conclusion through diligent study of not only history but the scriptures that mystery Babylon is principally America. But you got to remember, in Revelation it says mystery Babylon is a harlot riding a beast, right? Now the beast got 7 heads and 10 horns, right? Now the 10 horns are indicative of the 10 common European markets, right? So basically what you have is the EU and NATO being rid on by America because who really calls the damn shots at a UN or a NATO meeting?
Okay, so they're
America.
One of the 5 Security Council members.
Exactly. And not only one of them, but really the one that really makes it happen. You had a dude from Russia, he said at the end of the day, if it's not coming out of DC or it's not coming out of Moscow, it doesn't even matter what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? Because the U.S. got to sign off on it. That's why the U.S. would go into these wars, and people could be against it, but look, you coming with us too, or else we're not going to help you if you have a problem. You see what I'm saying? America's the most powerful country on earth. That's undeniable. But you have this power that's rising up over there with Russia and Iran, North Korea rather, and they're trying to challenge that power. So this is all the prophecy about it.
All right, and I know you guys were covering answers, but the question that comes to mind after that is, America's not the good guy, right?
America's not the good guy, but here's the thing: is Russia's bad too, though.
Okay, so
this is a triple threat match, right? You watch wrestling, you got a triple threat match, right?
Okay.
You got America is a heel, right? The crowd don't like America. The crowd don't like Russia either. Who the crowd like is Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus is the guy the crowd like, right? Or matter of fact, you can even look at Jesus as a bad guy too if you want to. It depending on who you are. To some people, Jesus is a real bad guy. You see what I'm saying? Jesus is like Loki in Avengers.
The trickster guy?
Put him like Loki in Avengers because Loki came and was doing all kinds of stuff, and that's what Jesus is coming back to do. He's coming to really jack stuff up. You see what I'm saying?
All right.
People don't, because you got to have this war before you have peace.
I gotta go to my meeting.
all right.
But because we get ready to go into an eternity of peace, right? With Christ, right? In the kingdom, right? But before you get to that peace, something's got to be done to bring down the establishment on the earth right now. You understand what I'm saying? So this triple threat match is what it's going to be, right? But really, matter of fact, where you at?
Ezekiel 38.
Go ahead, keep reading it.
Verse 5, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shields and helmets.
Right.
Gomer and all his bands, and the house of Togomar of the north quarter.
So that's dealing with these are like Gomer. When you take a look at an ancient map, like I was telling you, you're basically going to see all these lands in the USSR, right? Even though the USSR is broken up now, a lot of them countries still have their allegiance to Russia. You know what I'm saying? And we're really seeing the Soviet Union kind of coming back with this whole situation in Ukraine right now. You're seeing, they're making headway, right? Go ahead.
And many people with thee.
And many, so they getting their whole huge alliance together to go to this war. Go ahead.
Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou our guard unto them.
After me, guard unto them, because what does Russia do? They're guards of the smaller countries that they're allied with. Like when they wanted to go mess with Syria, here come Russia. No. You You ain't gonna come mess with Syria. A guard unto him, read.
After many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land.
So you gotta remember this is Ezekiel talking, but he said in the latter years, in the last days is when this is actually gonna happen. Read.
That is brought back from the sword and is gathered out of many people against the mountain of Israel.
That's right, go ahead.
Which
because
have been,
now, because what you gotta deal with is there's gonna be a conflict between America and them, or not just America, the Western powers and them, right? But what's gonna happen is in the midst of that conflict, there's going to be a conflict with the elect of Israel, with the Lord's chosen in Christ when he come back to deliver his elect. That's going to be the ultimate conflict because you see, you've heard certain officials speak on a possible alien invasion. What is it, Nixon, I think? Yes. Nixon or Reagan said, well, what I think if there was an alien invasion, everybody would come together, right?
Obviously,
they're going to look at Christ's return as an alien invasion. You see what I'm saying? So what's going to happen? What's going to happen is they're going to band together as a humanitarian effort, right? Put down their differences and say, look, we got some shit coming from outside of this planet, and we need to deal with it. And this is where the Valley of Jehoshaphat comes into play.
which have been always waste, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them.
Exactly. So Israel is always praised, meaning Israel has always been oppressed. Israel has always been taken advantage of, but the Lord said they're still going to dwell safely. Meaning in this final conflict, the only people that are going to be good is the elect of Israel. Go ahead.
Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land. Thou and all thy bands and many people with thee.
Meaning it's going to be a huge collaborative effort of all the armies of the world, basically. In the midst of World War III, hey, they're going to, everybody's going to band together. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord power. It shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought.
Things are going to come into the minds of the army that's on the earth that's about to fight against Christ. That they're actually going to be able to defeat the armies of heaven, right? That's that evil thing. Read.
And thou shalt say, I will go up.
You ever heard the term Lord of Hosts before? The Lord of Hosts. It says that a lot in the Old Testament, the Lord of Hosts. Host means armies. Hosts of armies, right? So the Lord is, it tells you in Exodus 15:3 that the Lord is a man of war. You see all this war that's happening on earth? It can't be happening unless the Lord put his stamp on it. Not necessarily saying the thing is righteous, but him being a supreme being, it can't go down unless he says so. You see what I'm saying? So the Lord likes war. The Lord also likes peace, but you gotta remember, look, he's a man, right? So he's a man. Men, we like to quote, we like to be competitive. You know, whether it be on one level or another. You see what I'm saying? That's why there's so much war. And that's why the end of this thing ain't gonna be like the end of the last world with a flood. It's gonna be with war, right? Go ahead.
And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages.
What's the land of unwalled villages? You know what the land of unwalled villages is? America. America is a huge land, but it's an unwalled village. You can go into any city. In the ancient times, what happened? If you want to go into a city, it's got a wall. It's fortified. America is not fortified, right? Because it's not common practice now. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of places, they have some sorts of fortifications. Now you just have a sign, welcome to San Diego. You know what I'm saying? I have no fortification. Go ahead.
And I will go to them that are at rest. And
them that are at rest. If you take a look at the world news, if you go on some alternative news like Russia Today, Al Jazeera, Vice, things like that, they show you what's going on in the world. The world is not at rest. America's at rest. These people are leisurely taking strolls. It's all good. But he said he gonna go to the land where these people are at rest. Read.
That dwell safely.
That dwell safely. When has there ever been outside the Revolutionary and the Civil War? Name me in the War of 1812. Name me a war fought on American soil.
There's not, because we have two allies to the north and south. And
Two big oceans.
Right? So this place has been at ease. Nobody's able to invade America, right? But now there's going to be a game changer that comes in. Well, you know what the game changer is?
Christ coming back.
Well, even before that, we're dealing with the war.
Insiders?
Not even insiders. Nobody's going to invade America. You can't invade America. They're going to use something else to get with America. You know what that is? Long-range thermonuclear missile. Intercontinental ballistic missile. They can't just come in and invade America. They got to press a button and send a whole bunch of missiles over here to do it. That's the only way they're going to be able to do it. Can you literally see somebody rushing the shores of La Jolla? No, it's not going to happen. It's going to have to be a more long-range deal.
But really, either with a long-range intercontinental ballistic missile, that would happen.
Why would you say that?
Because we would strike back.
Because you would strike
Yeah,
back.
you have systems in place to keep it from occurring.
Now you have systems in place to keep it from occurring. Number one, Russia has more powerful intercontinental ballistic missiles than you have. Russia can send more intercontinental ballistic missiles than you have, and they're going to come for you from all angles. Here's why. You You don't think there's intercontinental ballistic missiles in Cuba right now? You don't think there's intercontinental ballistic missiles in Venezuela right now? All sides, really, they can send intercontinental ballistic missiles. Then you got to take into effect and take into consideration that America has garrisons set up all over the world that are easy targets. You see what I'm saying?
Like what?
You said what?
Like what?
Well, the different, like Afghanistan, the American troops in Afghanistan. They're easy targets for your average Afghani with an AK-47. How much more somebody sending a missile over it? You see what I'm saying? America, now, you familiar with Roman history?
Slightly.
What led to the fall of Rome ultimately?
The Huns? You mean the Huns?
Well, the army being spread too thin.
Yeah, the empire was too big for them.
The empire is too big and the army is spread too thin.
Yeah.
The American army is on the way for being spread too thin. Because what does America want to do? Go stick their nose in everybody's business. You see what I'm saying? And that's going to end up hurting a whole lot more than it's going to be helping. Because all those American troops that are abroad are easy targets. Because if there's missile defense systems here in America, there's not sophisticated ones like there is to defend the homeland as there is them garrisons set up abroad. You understand what I'm saying?
Pulling out of Afghanistan right now, aren't we? Or we're trying to.
We're supposed to be. You see what I'm saying? But with this guy Obama, he takes his sweet time. America should have been out of Afghanistan because that's a losing battle. You see what I'm saying? Why is America fighting? This is America. It's not supposed to fight a losing battle. When they took an L in Vietnam, all right, we're getting the hell out of Vietnam, whatever. You guys have it, whatever. You see what I'm saying? That little incident that happened in Somalia, okay, whatever. We'll never go back to Somalia. Screw it. You know what I'm saying? You can have it. But the things that are going on in Afghanistan, which I don't know how familiar you are with the so-called conspiracy theories regarding American corruption and things of that nature. But they say, you know, since America went into Afghanistan, over 90% of the world's opium is now coming from Afghanistan.
Yeah.
In retrospect to before. I mean, just like when you see the American Gangster, right? American Gangster with Denzel Washington.
No, I missed that one.
Well, what happened is how it was a true story of Frank Lucas on how he was going to Thailand and getting all that heroin from Thailand and flying it through the U.S. Army over to America and supplying the streets with it. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same situation over again. Just like you have, definitely, brother. Just like you have the Iran-Contra situation.